Hey there human beings, I'm S5E9 and this is a Game of Thrones review. Alright, now for the longest time, as a matter of fact one of the main reasons I created this YouTube channel is because I want to talk and gush about Game of freaking Thrones. Now like many things on this channel, I've had quite a few ideas for what I'd like to do for my first few Game of Thrones videos, but I'm throwing all that out the window right now because I just need to talk about Game of Thrones. The past couple episodes have been absolutely phenomenal. They have been really ramping it up. Just like I kind of predicted this season, the last three, the back half, are going to be the giant Game of Thrones movie we've kind of been waiting for, which episode 8 and 9 and most likely 10 will end up being. So yeah, I just I wanted to talk and gush about the penultimate episode of season 5, episode 9, entitled, they dropped it many times throughout the episode, Dance with Dragons. So we can tell that Princess Shireen definitely reads George R.R. Martin's works because she was very familiar with that story. The reason why I want to do this review, this breakdown, this format, actually quite a lot of my inspiration on YouTube comes from Comic Book Girl 19, which some of you might be familiar with. She's an amazing talent on YouTube. Here it goes. And she used to do videos like this, which she doesn't do anymore. I'm very excited about that. And I thought this was a great format for doing the Game of Thrones breakdown. Just going right through the episode. So we open things straight off at Stannis' camp. They have been really dragging out this storyline with the battle at Winterfell. I thought this might happen towards the middle of the season, but like I was saying again, they have been really building things up. They have been really, it's been a slow burn season. It's been a very much of a compounding season. And this first shot, we come into Melisandre, and how the camera pans into her, and she knows something's afoot. Something is amiss. And I think it's quite ironic that of all camps being burned alive, it's Stannis' and Melisandre's camp that is being set ablaze. And yeah, I guess we'll just let it happen. Flaming horses. Flaming horses. We see the effect of Ramsay's 20-man team. They actually call it out right in the episode. Must have been about 20 men or less, they say. And yeah, we can see that Ramsay was not talking bullshit. He really knew what he was doing there. And of course, I don't know how many people actually thought his intentions were to take this 20-man team and fight Stannis' army. Obviously, that's not what he was going to do. It was a sabotage plan, which we see that now. And you know, they took out their siege weapons, which, for those of you that don't know, like, the siege weapons are the weapons that are used to storm a castle, you know, to get over the walls, to break down walls. It's used to storm a castle. So all of those specific weapons that Stannis needs to get into the castle, those are all gone now. The horses, you know, you saw the flaming horses. So Ramsay did a great job of just further demoralizing this army. You know, they've been entrenched in this winter, you know, setting, which they're not used to. They're getting snowed in. They don't have much food left. And Stannis has been in this position before when he was holding down things that Storm's End. So forgive me if I'm forgetting the correct terminology, but you know, back in olden times of Game of Thrones, which, you know, weren't shown on the show, Stannis had his own, you know, days back in the day, and he held down the fort. So that's that with battle. Probably talking too much through all these scenes, but we're moving on to our first scene after that crazy scene that went down in episode 8 with the wildlings and the White Walkers. So this is the not culmination, the follow-up to that event. So finally Jon Snow makes it back to Castle Black with his little tiny army that he managed to wrangle up from Hardhome. Now, of course, that's a lot more people than what the Night's Watch already had, so it's definitely going to help. You know, it's not for nothing. And as they point out, you know, they're walking through the camps. They walk all the guys through there, and, you know, they're saying, you saved his life, you saved her life, you saved that family's life. So all those people, it was definitely worth it. But we see Janos Slint here, fucking asshole, got his eye twitching, his little upper lip twitching. Jon Snow sitting there like, I hope you let this in. Hope we get in there. And he's like, I guess I'm gonna have to. Otherwise, we have to fight all these assholes. I still think they should do a much better job of explaining to the audience why the Night's Watch feels the way they feel. Like, I get it. Like, I get they've been fighting the wildlings their entire lives. Like, I understand. I get all that. But Jon Snow does a great job of making his argument that if we don't recruit these people, they're going to join the army of the dead. Like, it seems pretty simple and cut and dry to me. I don't see why it's such an argument, why they have so much friction, but I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. So, and the giant walking in there was pretty freaking awesome. And everyone just looking at him, and right here, Ollie. Jon Snow's like, I did it, man. He wants that. He's looking for that thumb back from Ollie. Ollie's not having that. He is not having that. Ollie does not approve. That's not a face of approval right there. He's like, you brought my wildlings back, so you accomplished that. Fucking great. Real fucking great. Now that face. That's, oh yeah, I just want to capture that. So we have General Slit telling Jon that his actions are going to get his entire all of his brothers, the entire Night's Watch, killed. And again, this goes back to my previous statement. Like, they keep going back to the fact that, you know, he brought these wildlings in, and they're going to kill all of us. Well, the wildlings are aware of the fact that they just saved them. And I know that they don't know that. Janice doesn't know what happened at Hardhome yet. So hopefully that'll be talked about in the next episode, but it's just really frustrating. Moving on to one of my favorite scenes of this episode is the one between the Onion Knight, Sir Davos, and Stannis. Now, throughout the scene, we have the Onion Knight trying to convince Stannis to let him hang around, because, you know, you need the hand. You know, if Stannis is the king, he says that, you know, I'm your hand. You've made me the hand. He's like, you know, keep me around. You're gonna need me here. Obviously, I'm your right hand man. And Stannis isn't having that, and it's quite obvious if you know what you're looking for, that he doesn't want Stannis around. You know, last time Stannis was around, he doesn't want Sir Davos around, because the last time Sir Davos was around, he ended up sending off Gendry in a little rowboat, which I guess Gendry is still in, and kind of foiling Stannis and Melisandre's plans. Stannis knows that the one person that can convince him not to set ablaze his only kin is the Onion Knight, Sir Davos. So that's why he sends him away. He's like, I can't have you here. You're going to stop me from doing this, and I need to do this, he believes. So Sir Davos is he's dealing with this, and I think he's probably, was that Gendry? I did not notice that the first time I watched this. I'm not sure if that was Gendry. That was really weird. Hold on. I mean, we zoom in on this face. I can't tell who that is. If it's it's not Gendry though. Okay, no. I don't know. It's weird that they zoom in on the person though. We don't have audio right now, so maybe there's something that goes on there. I don't remember, but that's weird and interesting. So yeah, now we have Sir Davos visiting his favorite reading companion, his favorite tutor, the Princess Shireen, and she's so bright and lovely and happy. And this entire season, it really shows. Like, it's kind of funny. Some people in their reviews have been saying, oh, they're building Stannis up to be the hero, because, you know, a few episodes back we have that talk with Stannis and Shireen where he tells her all the things he went through to cure her of her grayscale disease. And it's a great scene. It's very lovely. Of all characters, of all things in this world, Shireen is the one that shows Stannis' love the most purely. Like, she's the physical embodiment of Stannis' love, because that's the only place it exists, really. Stannis is a very cold, pragmatic person, and the one obvious source of his love, where you can see it, is in Shireen, and they do a great job of showing us that. So in the scene, what's so fantastic about the scene is seeing Sir Davos, who I believe knows what's about to happen. The reason why Davos is trying to stay around is because he knows that Stannis is about to sacrifice his freaking daughter, and he wants to stop that. And the reason why I believe that he knows that is because this is his goodbye. This is his farewell to Shireen. This is him saying, you know, here's a little gift that I made you or whatever, and I love you, you know, like a daughter or whatever, and and I'll see you soon kind of thing, you know, like I'll be right back. So that's obvious, obvious, sin right there. You know, when I come back, you get it. Kiss on the forehead, goodbye, never to be seen again. Bye. God damn, that fucking tore me up. Alright, so finally we make our way to Dorne. And this is quite the entertaining scene. I'm sorry if I'm watching the show too much. I'm not addressing you. It's just awesome, man. I just got done watching it. I didn't say this. I meant to say it at the start of the video. I just got done watching this. And 2 a.m. Jen's trying to sleep and probably getting on a freaking nerve right now, but shit happens. It's Game of Thrones. Yeah, so we got a fantastic scene with all these awesome characters in Dorne. It's pretty cool seeing all these characters that are sitting right here together having this conversation. Like, obviously, it's very simple of how great that is in Game of Thrones, characters sitting, talking together, but to have all these guys in one room, it's pretty great right now. And to see the authority that Prince Duran really throws around, like to actually see that in its full form here, because I don't know, I feel like they haven't really handled Dorne very well this season, and this episode was most definitely the best of that. And coming up, the scene with the Sand Snakes is the culmination of what they've done this season with Dorne. That scene, of course, the fantastic boob scene. The boobs are great, but the stuff happening in the background of that scene with the sisters bickering and talking about how she just loves to be the most beautiful one and all that kind of stuff. All the interaction with the Sand Snakes has been fantastic, phenomenal this season. Absolutely fantastic. And this, all the scenes, they're pouring out the wine, like, fuck you, Jamie. All great stuff. Marcella, hey, what's up? What's going on, Uncle Jamie? Yeah, it's all really great stuff. It's negotiation, and what happens here is what's very interesting about this scene. I didn't really know what I was expecting, kind of just for them to send Jamie back. Like I said, I didn't feel like they've been handling this very well, and I didn't know what they were going to do with Jamie, to be honest. I feel how Ilaria feels most definitely. Like, are you serious? Like, this is how you're going to handle this? After all that's happened? Yeah, you guys no worries, just go ahead and go back to King's Landing. Oh, by the way, you can take our prince with you. That'd be a great idea. Like, I don't expect anything to really happen to Duran, and I think maybe that is what he's looking for. Like, if you guys kill him too, then this will be our excuse to go to war. That could be the case. He doesn't seem like the kind of person that would do that, that would put Prince, whatever his name is, I can't remember right now, in that position. But, I don't know. I don't really... I guess putting him, like he explains, putting him on the council, that gives them more power, it puts their face in King's Landing. That all makes sense. It's just a lot of things, and I bet in the books, I did not read the books, but I bet in the books, this is probably better explained, and it probably makes more sense. And I know Jamie isn't even here in the books, so yeah, it's a whole thing. So we finally make it to the scene with the Sand Snakes and their awesome interactions and this hand-slapping scene. And am I the only person that thinks this Sand Snake, sorry about the names, looks exactly like Trisha Hirschberger? I mean, come on. Like, I'm gonna put a picture. Like, since when did Trisha Hirschberger get on Game of Thrones? Right? Am I right? Yeah. Like, they have no problem sending Bronn of the Blackwater back with them to King's Landing under one condition, and that condition is pretty great. Prince Trystane, that's his name. Alright, and we still have not seen Big Black Bubba use that axe, so hopefully that beautiful thing will get blooded up pretty soon in episode 10. There is just the one condition. Alright, we're cool now. Everything's great. Nice. Real nice. Alright, so we finally make our way to Braavos, so we can pick things up with Arya Stark. Or wait, that's not her anymore. Now she is the clam sales lady. Was it Laura? Or nah, she sees Lauren in the streets. Her name's not Lauren or Laura, but it's something. Anyways, so yeah, we catch up with Arya. She sees her mark there, And I predicted this. I knew that once we heard Cersei say that she was sending the Mr. Tyrell man over here to Bravos with Sir Mirren Trance, one of the many people on Arya's list, you know, hijinks must have to ensue there. And they do so perfectly. Now, I should take that back. Not perfectly. I do have a few gripes with this scene with Arya. Overall, execution of this scene and of this event happening, I thought was done pretty well. You know, you see the guy, he obviously tells her that he wants some clams. She obviously blows him off when she sees Mirren Trant. All that, you know, I get all that. The one issue I have with this scene is how obvious Arya is being with everything. So maybe that'll come into play. The fact that she's not being very inconspicuous, I'm hoping that that'll come into play. So yeah, that's my one gripe. Because, you know, she's sitting here staring at Mirren Trant, gets out of the boat, she's staring at him. He sees her staring at him. Later, they're all walking, she's just sitting there following him. You know, Mirren Trant, all your guards, you guys have been going all around town all day. You go inside, you make a stop, and you don't notice the same chick selling clams has been following you around all freaking day. As a matter of fact, she even followed you into a brothel selling her clams, and this isn't suspicious or weird to you? That was just, I don't know, I didn't like that. So we get some fantastic exposition here between the Bravos Iron banker, the banker of the Iron Bank of Bravos. I don't know how you'd say his title, but you know, this guy who we saw last season as well, so he comes back, so that's great. He's having some great conversations with Master Tyrell, so that was all like really comical. And Mirren Trant being a pretty good bodyguard, you know, looking all around, but not great, seeing as how he doesn't recognize Arya Stark right in front of him. And, you know, like I'm saying, she's just sitting there, you know, drinking her clams, the same person's been following you all day, you guys don't even notice, but that was just really dumb. Master Tyrell has to get his sing on. This guy is forever the idiot. And I wonder, is he just like, Master Pycelle? Are they both, you know, just playing the fool? Does he really know like fully what he's doing? I don't know. He seems too dopey for that to be the case. Okay, so now we move on to the next scene that just further solidifies the assholery that is Sir Mirren Trant. There isn't too much more that can be said about that. He likes little girls, and for some reason he needs those little girls to be replaced every night. And there's no need for her to be replaced unless she doesn't serve the same function anymore because she's been broken. And like, just to even say that audibly, and yeah, the entire thing is nails on a chalkboard. And this scene, Arya's face. I'm so happy to be here, and this is a fantastic idea what I'm doing right now. So when they bring this chick in, he's you know, sending all these girls back. They're all too old. They bring out the hottest one, the most expensive one, too old. And you know, we get it. After the first chick who he sends away that's too old, you know, maybe she was too old. After the second one, we get it. Mirren Trant's a fucking pedophile. It's not that complicated. And my thought running through my head is, holy shit, are they gonna drag Arya in there? And then, you know, you have that scene where the guys come out there and they're sitting there, you know, talking shit to Arya. Oh, we want to buy some clams. It ends up becoming, which, by the way, why didn't you just poison all of them? Kill them all right there. Okay, but after all that, you know, they pull in the little dish girl or whatever she was, the little helper girl, and she obviously does not want to be there. She obviously did not know she was going to be there. It's pretty great in the sense of how tragic and sad that is, for lack of better words. That face, Arya's face there, just sheer terror. That was my own face. And you can see Mirren Trant there putting the pieces together. But luckily Arya is brisked away just in time before he can totally complete that calculation in his head. And they pull this little girl in. This poor little girl. You should have stayed home sick today, girl. Should not have came in. Should have called out. There are some days you got to call out a whorehouse, and this is one of those days you just need to call out of the whorehouse. So bad decisions. Oh man, and just the way he's like, I'll let you know when we're done. You'll know. You know, when I come out and she doesn't, you'll know I'm done. God, terrible. Finally, after that scene, we move on to Arya going back to the House of the Undying to meet up with Jack and Hagar and let him know that, you know, today things didn't go well. The skinny man, he wasn't hungry, which was a lie, obviously. And, you know, we'll check things out tomorrow. I think it's quite obvious that Jaqen knows what she did, and I believe in this scene he says, well, he wasn't hungry, I guess that's why a man died today. And I think he's referring to the fact that the skinny man, he keeps like fucking people over, and I think he's referring to the fact that this skinny man being left alive for one more day led to another person dying. I believe that's what's being insinuated here, and Jaqen's not happy about that. There's another death at the House of the Undying because Arya did not fulfill her mission, because she has not completely given up on her list, on her being Arya, and I don't think that Jaqen is very happy about that. Oh yeah. Get on knees, bitch. Put that ring in your mouth, move. Okay, now even better than the interaction between Alaria and Prince Duran is the one here with Jaime and Alaria. Now it's so great how you can never expect a kinship between certain characters on Game of Thrones, and how well they handle it and manage putting some certain characters on screen together, and how well they can bounce off each other, or how many things they might have in common that you would never have guessed. And this scene with Alaria and Jaime is so great for that. Like, never would I have seen the similarities in their relationships with Alaria and Oberyn, you know, Grape smashed head last season, and Jaime and Cersei, and just how, you know, in these modern times in Game of Thrones, their relationships are looked down upon, she points out. But back in the day, lots of talk lately in this season and this episode about Targaryens. Back in the day, you know, if you're a Targaryen, you marry your sister, no big deal. They used to do that shit all the time. So this is just a really great scene of two characters you don't expect coming together, having a great moment. Game of Thrones. I love how all the characters, Bronn, Alara, they just call out Jaime on his obvious relationship with Cersei. It's pretty great. Alright, so a little bit more foreshadowing with Princess Shireen. And I'm glad that the audio isn't on, because just like in the episode with Sansa, her marriage to Ramsay, and what happens at the end of that episode with her rape or whatever, I guess you have to compliment the creators of the show and the audio designers, and engineers, all the people that do all that stuff, because both of these scenes are tragic and heartbreaking, and they led me to real tears with what happens here. But I'm specifically referring to the audio in these scenes, and how her cries out, and, you know, the dress ripping with Sansa. They do a great job of putting you in that moment. Like, audio is one of the most important parts of video. Most people don't really think about that fact, and just credit has to go to Game of Thrones for leading me to bawling my eyes out in this scene. Not this one, the one coming up, mainly due to the cries out of Princess Shireen. But to reflect on what's happening here, we have the final scene between Stannis and his daughter. Now, again, it's so fun watching a show when you know what's coming, and sometimes you don't want to ruin too many things for yourself. But to watch this scene and know what's about to happen, that everything Stannis is saying is, it's his farewell speech to Shireen, and how she's just so innocent, and she just doesn't know that, and she asks him, "Can I do anything? Can I help you somehow? Can I be of service?" And Stannis is like, "Yeah, for sure you can. There's a little something you can do for me." I'm not sure which scene sat worse with me this season between Sansa and Shireen. I don't know if it's a good thing that a show can do that, to have, you know, so many great tragic scenes. And it has also had just as many great, fun, and climactic scenes in episode 8 and 9 here. But yeah, at some point I definitely want to do a list of like shows or movies that have actually brought me to an emotional turmoil, to real feels. But this episode for sure is one of them. Oprah and Dine, definitely another one. Wreck-It Ralph, when the chick gets her car smashed by Ralph, yeah, that was sad too. And well, what I'm really curious to see coming up in this last episode, there's a few things I want to know for sure. So when Davos comes back, how is he going to react to all this happening? What's going to be the fallout with Celise, Stannis' wife? You know, at first she was committed to this. And I love how Shireen, she was walking up, she's ready for whatever. I'm ready to help my dad. And then she sees Melisandre. She sees Melisandre standing there, and she's like, holy fuck, what's going on? What's happening here? That's pretty freaking great. But I'm very curious to know what's going to happen. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. In episode 10 with Davos, with Stannis' wife, and with Stannis' troops. Because, you know, they do a lot of close-ups on the troops and how they see this event happening. How do you think they're going to feel about Stannis going forward with this? Stannis sacrificing his one and only child, by the way. Like, don't forget that. Like, Stannis has no other kids. He doesn't have thousands or hundreds or whatever, tens of bastards like his brother did. You know, just the one daughter, the one grayscaled daughter that his wife hated. And again, like going back with Celise, you know, we have seen throughout this series that Celise is not very fond of her daughter and her grayscale. But in these last moments, as Shireen cries out to her, you know, she's a mom. You cannot turn away those cries. And in these final moments, you see her face, you see Stannis' face, and he's just beaten down through the winter and through this decision. I love that we can see that on the actor's face. His actual, he looks destroyed by this decision. God, fuck this so much. And she has the same thought. She has the same thought, fuck this, I'm stopping this, but she's not. Stannis makes a little notion, stop her, and it's too little too late. Celise, you should have had this concern for your daughter a long time ago. That's it. I was crying during this scene. I didn't get to see Stannis' face the first time. I'm glad to know that the tragedy was not lost on him. I'm glad to know that. To see her face there, I kind of miss some of these scenes because I was bawling my eyes out. That's good to know. Alright, so now we're about 3/4 of the way through the penultimate episode of Season 5 of Game of Thrones, the Dance with Dragons, and we finally make our way over here to Daenerys and Meereen and these great games happening. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on these scenes because I want to get to the good stuff, but a lot of awesome stuff happens here. We got some great back and forth with Tyrion, Daenerys, and Hizdar, Lorak? Hizdar. You know, her new husband, and this is great. Like this season has been so fantastic. The way they've handled Tyrion and Daenerys and their conversations. The one last week with the wheel and breaking it, and all of it. It's been great. Fucking money shots. Game of Thrones. Money. These are some great shots. Beautiful, beautiful shots. Game of Thrones. And Dany's face there. That's great. Just the look she gives Hizdar when he's explaining these silly rules to her. These rules for these games where people kill each other for blood sport. She sees all these people around clapping, and she doesn't get it. She just does not understand, why do you want this? Why is this, like, why? That's her thought about all this, is just why. Now these interactions here with Daario Naharis, Hizdar, Tyrion, Daenerys, him talking about his blade and his kills, and how it's punctuated by that kill at the end of the scene. It's all just fantastic writing, Great acting, all around, freaking 10s across the board, obviously, great stuff. I love how the way they're setting Dario up as this really sick, sadistic character. It's very interesting. You know, earlier we had him talking about rounding up all the masters together and freaking slaughtering them. Like, he's a very, very dark character, and the way he laughs in the face of that, the way he throws those statements around like they're nothing, is very interesting to me. Dario is a very interesting character. How Dani is taking in, she's soaking up all this conversation, all the stuff that Tyrion is saying, Tyrion's feelings about war, or specifically about death and killing or whatever. She appreciates the fact that he does not want this senseless killing, and that's really cool. The announcer specifically says Westerosi Night. Daenerys hears Jorah's voice, and there he is. And what's so fantastic about this entire series of events, you know, Jorah has been banished by her twice now. She's told him, get the fuck out of my city, keep coming back. And all he wants is to just profess to her his undying love. All he wants is for her to really and truly understand the deep passion of that love, the trueness of that love. Yes, he betrayed her. Yes, he made a mistake a long freaking time ago, and now he just wants her to understand that. You know, all of her counsel are there, like, you can stop this if you want, but Daenerys knows, no, I cannot stop this. My word is my word, and I just opened these games. I'm not going to then turn back on that and stop this guy from fighting. No, like, he wanted to be here. I kicked him out. He came back. He asked for this. I'm going to give it to him. So she does. She claps. So Jorah goes to fighting, and it's not, you know, it's not one and done. It's not an obvious fight. Very important to notice this right here. That shot of the blood. This huge fight, all of this sport, all the people, this crowd, all this stuff, the culmination of this event. This is what leads to what happens at the end of this episode. It's this blood. It's what draws the creature there. I love the acting in this show. To see Daenerys' face and on all the different emotions that are going through her right now, the fact that she does feel for Jorah. She cares about him. You know, like he brought her to where she is now. She understands that. And I love that we can see all these conflicting emotions on the actor's face. It's truly phenomenal work. The fact that, you know, she's really fucking pissed off that he's back. The fact that she's sad that he's about to die because he's in this fight. All of it is on Emilia Clarke's face, and it's beautiful. It's great acting. One more cry out. You can stop this. No. I cannot stop this. This is happening. There's nothing I can do about that. Guy number 3 in the fight stops it. Not very smart on his part. You know, if you're in a fight with a dude who's way OP, you're going to want to team up with some friends and take him down. Sir Jorah, the Westerosi Knight, was definitely OP for this guy. And how about Game of Thrones, you guys? Like, this season has been a slow build-up. But, you know, they have been really hitting it out of the park these last 2 episodes with these big scenes. We can see this is where their budget went. We can really see here that the budget this season went to the back half, these last 3 episodes. The first 7 were all like a really big, intense setup. I know it's a long setup, but it was for this epic movie of these last 3 episodes. I see it was worth it. Now we see Jorah wind up for the pitch and launch a spear straight at Daenerys, we think, but it's actually going at one of the sons of the Harpy. And this is where shit just hits the fan. So we have the sons of the Harpy who, you know, in a great shot, you know, Jorah, great eye, great shot, and all of a sudden out of nowhere we have all these sons of the Harpy in the crowd. And this is just pure chaos. Now I'm not sure what their goal is here, but they're slaughtering everybody. Like, it seemed like at first they were slaughtering masters, like the people that are dressed up in these robes. I thought these were like the masters. But I thought the Sons of the Harpy were employed by or were started or fanatics on the side of the masters. So I'm not too sure what's going on here. I don't know what their objective is. It's kind of confusing. I think they just want to embroil chaos. I think they just want to kill, you know, anyone close to Daenerys. Maybe maybe they saw these masters over here in the crowd as supporters of Daenerys, so they slaughtered them. Now, surprisingly enough, we see Hizdahr get stabbed a few times. I definitely thought that Hizdahr was one of the people leading the Sons of the Harpy, so I'm pretty surprised about that. And here we go. Here is the scene. Why are you touching Daenerys? Like, we know they have showed us many times Jorah's grayscale. What does this mean? The fact that they focus and they zoom in on the hand touch, he puts his hand out for her, it doesn't seem malicious. He seems sincere in wanting to be near her and touch her. He finally gets to. I hope they explain this, because if he has grayscale and he touches someone, doesn't he give it to her? Is it only if she touches the patch of grayscale that she gets it? I don't know, but the scene really freaks me out, and the fact that like they zoom in on it, they focus on the fact that he touches her. I don't know, that really freaks me out, really worries me. He whisks her away to safety in the middle of the pit, or no. So first we're trying to get out of here. We have some just continuously great shots. We have Sons of the Harpy going after Melisandre, and Tyrion saves her and whisks her away as well to join Daenerys. What a great scene. Tyrion continues to be a fucking badass. He doesn't stop. There's no wonder he's a fan favorite. Tyrion is awesome. Just non-stop awesomeness. Tyrion Lannister. Aryo and Sir Jorah protecting her. There's Tyrion and Missandei joining the main group, the main court, the Queen's court, and they all rush into the center to stand the ground. Now, and this is the one thing I was aware of this season, is this event with the dragon being alerted to Daenerys in danger and rushing to save her. And I just loved all the build-up. Everything, the way it was executed, the way it was shot, everything about this scene was fantastic. And I love how they're just sitting there staring down all these Sons of Harpy. They're just trying. They're killing them. They're doing their best, and they know that they're outnumbered, but they're just doing what they can. We got Tyrion just like, oh shit, I'm going to have to kill somebody really soon. And Daenerys and Missandei look at each other like, holy fuck, this is it. And Daenerys decides in this moment, she decides that this is it for her. And she had a great run. It was real fun, and it's game over time. And I really did not. I didn't expect that. The first time I watched it, I kind of felt as though this was her like in danger and calling out to her dragon. So I guess you can interpret it, however you want. But I actually like in the second viewing, this is her and Missandei deciding that life is over. This is it, and she succumbs to the Sons of the Harpy, and she's ready to die. And in that moment, and her exact moment of need, when she gives up, that is when she's rescued, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And she looks around the corner, and what do you see flaming through the sky? First you hear that screech, again, that great sound design. You hear the roar, the cry of the dragon, and that burning flame, and all of a sudden, bursting into frame is Drogon. Not Drogon the Dread, I guess it's Drogon. And it's just phenomenal, just splooge worthy, money shots left and right. So please, in the comments below, let me know which scene, you gotta pick one, did you like better? The one this episode with the dragons, or last episode with the White Walkers? Fire or ice? You gotta pick one. Which one? And because they're both glorious scenes in so many ways. You got Tyrion here, who he got to see Drogon fly. Like, he saw Drogon a couple episodes back. Like, holy shit, Daenerys, like, Queen of the Dragons, that's legit, that's real. And now, to see the sheer destruction, the power, the terror of these dragons, his face shows it all. To see this dragon, to rip these fools apart, is absolutely fantastic. The other thing I love about this scene is seeing that the dragons aren't completely unstoppable. You know, like he got outnumbered by a crap ton of these sons of the harpies. They're throwing spears at him, and he's getting hurt. He's actually, you know, he's being stopped by these guys. So like the dragons aren't, you know, all powerful. Like they can be stopped. They're creatures just like every other animal or whatever. And I love this. I love that roar. He's like, "Mommy, look how big I am. I'm so big and awesome." It's so great. And these dumbasses, they just don't know when to quit. Ah, man, such glorious action here. And we finally get the shot. Jen, my girlfriend, actually called it herself. She called that when she first saw Drogon roar into the screen, she's like, "Is he gonna ride him?" I'm like, "Nah, it probably won't happen this episode. Probably like next season she'll ride him." Nope. Here we go. Daenerys jumps on the back of her dragon and takes off. Daenerys takes flight. What a great money shot. Oh man. Everything about this is beautiful, it's great. What we've been waiting for the longest time. And again, and I love how Game of Thrones is so smart about its detail. Like, we don't just see Daenerys' point of view here, we see the other characters and how they react to this happening. And to see Tyrion's face, for him to realize for him to realize who Daenerys is, it's great. And again, the faces say it all. At this point, Tyrion is a real believer. Daenerys Stormborn is what it's all about. She's legit. That's it. That's what it's all about. Game of Thrones, penultimate episode, season 5, episode 9. I'm sorry if this went on too long. I had to gush. I just had to gush. So what was your favorite scene this season so far in Game of Thrones? Now normally by episode 9, you know, you could make your wrap-up videos and be pretty much done, but like I've been saying, I believe that this season they really did turn this back half, the last 3 episodes, into a sort of movie. You know, you got the first one, episode 8 with the White Walkers, episode 2 with fire and the dragons, and episode 3 was most likely going to be that fight, the battle with Stannis and the Boltons. That's finally going to go down. And hopefully that'll actually be an action-filled episode as well. So, you know, normally Game of Thrones fashion is for episode 10 to be the epilogue, the come down from the climax of episode 9. But it seems as though we're going to continue to have some climax throughout episode 10 until we hit the denouement, probably towards the middle of episode 10, and we'll have some setup probably at the end of episode 10. I think I talked enough and gushed enough about this episode. I talked throughout pretty much the entire episode. So I hope you enjoyed this breakdown, this review, my thoughts on episode 9. It's currently 3:32 a.m. I had to talk about this, make a video. I've been wanting to talk about Game of Thrones for a while, but most definitely next week I will be doing another wrap up of the season, and you can expect top 10 like moments in the next few weeks for sure. But please, in the comments below, let me know. You know, like I said, what was your favorite scene from you know, the ice last week versus the fire this week? Which one did you like better? What has been your favorite scene this season in Game of Thrones? Please, please, please leave me a comment. Let me know. I'm very curious. I'd like to talk about it with you guys. You can just have a great discussion down below. If I got some stuff wrong in the video, please correct me. Let me know. Let's discuss. Let's have a great time in the comments below. So with that said, I can't think of anything else. Check out my other shows. Check out Everything Kool over on Culturant. That's going up every single Monday. That's our weekly wrap-up show. So please check that out. Link in the description below. Got my first vlog up in a while after about 8 months, so please go check that out. I talk about what motivated me to get back into YouTube here and what inspired me to get things back going with this channel. So please check that out. Hit the like button, subscribe for much more content, including E3 stuff coming up. San Diego Comic-Con is coming up pretty soon. We're going to do content for all that stuff. So please keep it right here on Culturant. Create, consume, contribute, get roasted by dragons. I'm out. Zip it up and zip it out. Game of fucking Thrones!